There are many different ways to add thread in looping. In general, my philosophy on adding thread is, hey, whatever works. I introduce other methods in e-courses like New Age Looping Basics and Cross-Knit Looping, but for this short intro class, we'll just use the Trapped Tails Thread Edition. This simple method is similar to trapping the tail of a wrapped base cord as you stitch across it on the base row. To add thread, stop stitching with the old thread while you still have an inch or two of tail to trap when you resume stitching. On this sample, try to add thread on the front or back of a wafer-shaped mold instead of on one of the short sides. It's okay to waste some of that old thread when it makes adding a new thread easier. Take your needle off the old thread, cut a new thread a manageable length, and put it on the needle. Gather the old tail and the new tail and tuck them together along the bottom edge of the legs of the previous row. Be sure both tails point in the direction that your stitching advances. Don't advance just yet with that new thread. First, identify the lag where you made the last stitch with the old thread. In that same lag, insert the needle from north to south, pass under the lag, under the tail of the old working thread, under the tail of the new working thread, and over the new working thread. Now draw the needle through and pull that thread into a small knot, just like you did when you secured the wrapped base cord when you started. That makes this addition of thread secure. Advance and resume stitching with the new thread. For the next few stitches, pass under the tails of the old and new threads to trap them. When they're secure, trim off any excess and forget about those tails. Return to your normal hand position and keep stitching. On the next row, when you reach the point where you added, take the time to clearly identify the first lag made with the new thread. I've worked this sample in contrasting colors to make it easier to see where the thread was added. This is a good example of why you want to stitch your first samples at a gauge large enough that you can clearly distinguish between stitches and lags. Trapped tail thread additions get easier and tidier with practice. So keep stitching on this sample, being mindful of your thread control and tolerant of imperfection while you give your hands a chance to build some muscle memory and fluency with these techniques. Then start another sample or two. In the next unit, I'll show you how to finish a small pouch with one of those samples.